Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 Blue emote. If you're currently a subscriber, you can apply to those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you want to be a lurker, you could just be a lurker, and that would be okay as well. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty relaxed Monday night. Working on the Asmoday. Lord Crashton says, hey, Pat. Hey to you, Lord Crashton. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I think tonight's going to be a pretty relaxed evening of me working on the Gundam Asmoday, which is from the Ironblood Orphans Erd Hunt mobile game. So it is non-canon, but they did put out a model kit of it, so happy to work on that. It's a 2016 frame parts and then new parts added in 2022 when this kit came out. It looks good. Excited to work on it. It's got some fun green, some neon green on it. It'll be good to put that together. And we'll talk about some manga. We'll talk about some anime. Talk about some video game news, some wrestling news. Just kind of like chill out on a Monday. Talk about my new snipper clips, and how they look very similar to God hands, the 120 God hands I used to have. They're very, very similar. The tip is slightly different, but for the most part, these are pretty similar. They're pretty similar. So we'll take a look at those and see how they feel as I use them. I think they're gonna feel better, if only because they're new and therefore the spring hasn't bent at all. So I think that is the only thing that immediately they'll feel like better snippers, even though they are definitely not better snippers. But they were inexpensive and purchased by someone who has chosen to remain anonymous, has asked to be anonymous, which I am totally okay with. Hey, I'm actually up to 32 subscribers. Somebody renewed their subscription. If you want to hit that notification button so that we can say thank you, you could do that. You don't have to, but somebody did renew their subscription, and I am back up to 32. So thank you to the person who did that. We are on the road to 40 at 32 subscribers. If you'd like to become a subscriber, now is a great time to do that. $5 a month, or you could use your Prime Gaming token if you have Amazon Prime. Link it with your Twitch. Use that like that. That's a thing. If you came in because you hit the follow button when I got a shout out from my friend Ra, welcome. Hello. This is nothing like Ra streams because I'm not a VTuber that watches weird stuff. I'm a flesh person that makes model kits and talks about stuff. So, there are differences. Okay, I think we've chatted enough. I'm going to retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us, and then we're going to get going into the stream, and it'll be stream times. So it'll be cool. Hey, Lastbrook just with Prime says, for 63 months, saying, sorry, I took a while because I was trying to think of a funny comment. Mission failed. That's where we got our 32. All right, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Thank you very much, Lashbrook. I was clapping like the overhead camera was on, so I had to move my hands up during that clap. Thank you for renewing your subscription using Prime. 63 months is so many fucking months. Thank you very much for that, my friend. Appreciate it. But yeah, we're at 32 subscribers. The goal is, of course, the big 4-0. I shut up at 40. About having subscribers. I don't shut up in general at 40. Main. Boom. So you can see, these are the ANSI. My belief is that these are made in the factory that makes all of the ones that you like, the slide one blade cutters that you see in USA Gundam Store and Gundam Planet. Like the same people that are making the God Hands have their own slightly different. It is Lord Crashington. This is pink. These are pink here. They are pretty identical. Obviously, this is opened up a lot because the spring is worn because I use these cutters for 2 years. So they are, the spring is definitely wide on that. And it'll take a little while before these get like that. There is a curvature difference here in the blades. This does not curve as much as our God Hands, but they feel good in the hands. Got a good spring to them. I am looking forward to using them. And again, this costs like 20 something dollars for a person who is asked to remain anonymous, but I know who they are and I thank them. All right, let's work on the right arm. It is arm day here on this kit. Once again, this kit is a reminder. The Asmoday is, if you're like, I watched 2 seasons of Iron Blooded Orphans, Pat. I don't remember the Asmoday at all. Well, that's because it wasn't on the show. This is one of the missing Gundams because there are only so many that were found and survived the Calamity War. This one was untouched. I believe it was in space, like most of the Gundams from that series. They are just hanging out somewhere, and then somebody finds them and is just like, oh shit, well, I'm going to use this. So I believe, if I remember correctly, that is the story of the Asmoday. Is that it was just found in space, and then people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna make that thing. I'm gonna make that my Gundam." And it is from the Erd Hunt video game, which is a mobile game which I have not played. So I'm not much for a mobile game person. I'm not much of a Gundam video game person myself. I do like a mobile suit, mech game on occasion, but I'm not like. I haven't played a lot of Gundam games, is what I'm saying. All right, so we'll need that. We'll need C, and we'll need. So we'll get A going here and C. The USA Gundam Store single blade nippers are a different design to that. You're right, Lashbrook. They are. They do have a different design, but there are like all of the signature blades or signature cutters that are at those stores are generally made in the same place by the same people, even if it's not the same design. There are only so many companies that make this particular thing. And the idea that, hey, you could have your own business is a very smart thing. But you will find that in, especially at places like Amazon.com. You're going to find a lot of gear or equipment that is the same as the name brand stuff, or slightly worse, but way cheaper, because it does not have you don't have to upsell it with the Gundam name. These nippers right now, my old God hands, go for $40-something. I think I paid $50, but now the going rate is around $40. So for half the price, you're getting more than half as good, which, I don't need them to be amazing, because I'm not going to treat these like I should be treating high end. Like if I had the blues, the really good God hands, I would be using wire cutters to snip out. I would be cutting, I would do double cuts. I'd be cutting like as far away as possible, and then using the either second cut or using an X-Acto blade to chip the stuff away. If I was going to be doing that, there's a procedure which I don't follow because I am not precious about that stuff. Now, do I wish that the tip of my God hands hadn't broken slightly before the 2-year anniversary of me having them? Of fucking course. I'm not pleased at all with the results of that. The idea that like my God hand, like the tip broke, like that sucks. I'm not going to be like cool about it. I wish I had maybe taken a little bit better care of them, certainly, but I'm not like bent out of shape about it. It happens. It's mostly just like a bad time of year. Because I'm like, I'll say that I wasn't going to talk about this, but like, hey, I can't do my taxes yet. And it's very I can't send my taxes in, is what I should say. I have done most of my taxes, and then I have to update. But like, I had like a couple $100 in residuals come in last year, and I need to account for that in my taxes. And then also, part of that I have to do is like, I made that money. This is the thing about residuals, all right? I don't live in New York. I did that work in New York. I have to pay New York State taxes on it, even though they took New York state tax out of it. And then I may have to pay some money, or I might get it all back. But at the very least, I do have to like do that work. So I can't like go like, whatever, I'll deal with it later. Like I'm just waiting for like information to come in. Because the other problem is, despite the fact that I have updated with SAG-AFTRA my address, a lot of stuff gets sent to my New York address and then gets mailed to me. And so like I'm just kind of waiting to see if at some point in January that got mailed, and I should get it in a week or two, but I at least want to wait until March before I have to be like, hey, people that have to mail this stuff to me, did you actually mail it out? Because you won't let me find it online. Why you won't let me find it online, I still don't know. But they won't. It's annoying. Because if I could just like have a digital copy of it, that would solve all of my problems. I want to be done with my taxes, y'all. I just want to be done with it. Thankfully, the IRS has pushed back a change that would have meant that I would have had to have been taking out money to pay taxes on Patreon funds, because there are only a couple states where you have to do that in the United States. And thankfully, I don't live in one of those. But there was going to be a change where like the minimum amount was going to like really drop on that. And that did not happen, which is rad. So yeah, pleased about that. But I did get the bulk of my tax stuff done, like, like charitable stuff put in and all that kind of shenanigans, all of that nonsense. That's all done. I just haven't done the fun part of adding in my residual stuff, which, as I said, right now I don't have to. If I didn't put that stuff in, I wouldn't have to send anything to New York. But because I will have to add that in, I have to wait, and I don't want to wait. That's a big takeaway I can give you on that is I like sending my tax stuff in early so that I get the money early. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. Shoulder is done. Now we can work on the inner arm. The inner arm is black, which means that like we don't have to use any panel line stuff on this because it won't matter. But then our cool shoulders, we did hit with the marker, and it looks good. Other things we can talk about tonight. Of course, second hour, we got some manga to talk about and some anime. I dropped Ice Blade Sorcerer because I started watching like the third episode, and I was like, I don't like any of these characters, and it's just not, there's nothing about it that engages me at all. The humor doesn't work for me, and I will say that. The idea that this dude who is like, well, I'm hiding my strength with magic, so I'm probably going to have a bad time in school, and it turns out his roommate is like a bodybuilder, and they talk about weight, like training and stuff, and they bond, is a funny moment, but that's in like the first episode, and I have not had a fun moment since then. So I was like, nah, I think I'm all right with that. So I dropped that. But yeah, second hour, we'll talk about some manga and some anime. Let's see. I want to talk about this wrestling thing because it is very funny to me how we're finding out this fact about Randy Orton. So Randy Orton has been off television to recuperate from a number of injuries, and people were like, no, maybe he'll be back at the Rumble. He wasn't, so people were like, oh, maybe he'll be back on the road to WrestleMania, or he'll be back like the night after WrestleMania, and they'll like make it a big deal or something, and we don't know. But we do know that he is apparently close to coming back because of a guy on Twitter. A known man on Twitter was like, yeah, I just got an order from Randy Orton for a new pair of boots. There's a gentleman, what's his name? Jose G. Sands, who makes boots for wrestlers. He's currently working on Drew McIntyre and Bray Wyatt's boots. And he's working on Cody's boots for WrestleMania. But yeah, apparently Randy Orton contacted him about making some boots. So Randy is at least close to returning. Which is, like I said, it's not necessarily to me about the fact that, oh, Randy's coming back. Because whatever, of course he was at some point. It's more that, like, that's how we know, is because a guy who makes boots on Twitter doesn't care about kayfabe enough to just be like, yeah, Randy Orton wants me to make him some boots. I'll tell you about that. That is just very funny to me. Let's see. And he also might attack Riddle when he comes back, which also would necessitate Matt Riddle to be back, which I would like less. I would appreciate if that didn't happen, because I don't need to see Matt Riddle. All right, we got a sticker to put on here. We got the arm frame on. Now we're working on the. Now we're going to work on some of the armor that goes outside of it. So we'll get that going here. Again, this is the arms are black here, so we won't have to hit it with any marker. I guess that we could get. There are markers you could get that do work on this dark gray / black plastic that would enhance the look of it, but I don't own those, and I don't really actually like the look that those give. So I'm okay. I think I'm all right. And, okay. Let's see. Put that there. We need C. Let's get C11 out as well. And I got to put stickers on these, so we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, so that's a Randy update, Randy Orton update. I got some wrestling stuff. No update. Interesting ideas of Jay White, Switchblade Jay White. Is he coming to the WWE? And people are like, every couple years when his contract is up with New Japan, people are like, well, Jay White's gonna go somewhere else, and then he doesn't. But he did lose a loser leaves Japan match. He does have a New Japan date scheduled for this coming weekend. So one would assume that he will have that match. Beyond that, we don't know. It's kind of interesting to see what's up. Okay, so I need 11 and 11. Stickers 11 are... Okay, ooh, little... Where do these go? Let's figure out where these go, my friends. I'm going to just put a refresh out on that, because... okay. So yeah, there is word that Jay White might be WWE bound, or it could just be storyline stuff. You know, he lost the Losers Leaves Town match, and then Loser Leaves Japan match, and he has left Japan, but he didn't leave New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's just going to do stuff in their U.S. branch for a while, and maybe AEW. You know, who knows? We don't know what's going on with that. All right, these are tiny little stickers here that we're applying. We'll just do them nice and easy. Just a little bit of this green, because this is a high grade for a mobile suit from a video game. I'm not surprised there's a lot of stickers on this, because having this be 2 layers of plastic would have been a kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm not surprised that these are stickers. At least they're easy to understand and easy to apply, and not like confusing in any way. So, you know, I'll take it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, friends? I will take it. Let's see. Yeah. I should say, I don't see Jay White. I don't think that he would end up in Impact. I do think of anyone he would end up in AEW, but I think he'd be lost in the shuffle in AEW, and it wouldn't be a great deal for him unless they made him the Ring of Honor champion. He just did that for a while. I think that WWE, he would be a special attraction and an interesting wrestler on there for a while and then probably regret being there for a bit, but I don't know. I don't know. I have to see. So far, these snippers are fine. That is my big takeaway of these snippers is that they are doing the job. They are better than using the wire cutters I have. They are not as good as the God Ants. Immediately, like I said, once I use them for a while and the spring kind of gets used a bit and they loosen up a little bit, I bet they will be better. But right now, they are merely okay. All right, and that's going to go like that. That's where that goes. Great. We can panel line this because it'll be easier to do that right now. So we'll just hit that with a marker. Let's see. We got this week's episode of Rampage. Hey, if you're a wrestling fan and you like the AEW Rampage, the special Slam Dunk edition of Rampage is coming at a special time this weekend. It will be at 7 p.m. Eastern because of the All-Star basketball stuff. So instead of, if you're like me and you watch 2 hours of Rampage, 2 hours of SmackDown followed by an hour of Rampage, instead, you just watch it the other way. I have to decide, because that is, yeah. Well, also, Ricky Starks is facing Daniel Garcia, which should have been on Dynamite, but it'll be good here on Rampage. That's kind of weird that's on Rampage. And Dustin Rhodes versus Swerve Strickland, which I assume will be a bloody affair in which Dustin Rhodes gets his fucking ass kicked because he shouldn't beat Swerve Strickland. It would be such a weird, poor choice if Dustin Rhodes beats Swerve Strickland clean. That would be terrible. I have to see. I'm going to check this real quick, friends. Hold on. What time does the next Tokyo Joshi Pro City Circuit Winter is streaming? Okay, so that starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. Eastern? I can do that. If Rampage is early, ooh, all right, I'm gonna do that. Often I have found myself, friends, when it comes to Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling shows, if they are on early enough for me, I will watch them live. If they are on too late in the day, which is like for them, meaning early morning for me, then I will just watch it at a later date. But since it's starting at 10 p.m., I'll just roll right into it. I'll watch, it'll be another very long night because I'll watch Rampage, 2 hours of SmackDown, and then that. I did this past Friday as well, so yikes. It's gonna be a long one, but a good one, but a long one. All right, we got the arm done here. Again, this is too dark to worry about panel lining. I'd have to have a special kind of marker to like a neon marker, I guess. Maybe you could do something that would like make that look good. But for the markers I have, none of that is going to do anything for the arm. So we'll just let the stickers do the cool showcasing. And then we'll get we got A34. Get a hand in here. I believe, one set of hands. Makes sense. It's a high grade. Modern high grades don't really come with a lot of different hands. They usually just like the hand that can hold things. Maybe a high grade will have like the open hand. It's just like, what's up? But not always. Let's see. SmackDown, because we do have Elimination Chamber on Saturday, which, hey, I know that the Royal Rumble, I did a stream early in that day because I wanted to watch the Royal Rumble live. I will not be doing that for Elimination Chamber. I'm just going to stream as normal, and then I'll probably be done just as Sammy and will probably be over, so I'll be able to catch the tail end of Sammy and Roman. So I'm not going to change my schedule this Saturday. Normal stream time, not an earlier because I love the Rumble and I don't really care about Elimination Chamber. Even if I do, I am interested in a couple of the matches. But Gunther versus Madcap Moss. So people thought that might be on Elimination Chamber. It is not part of the card. That is going to be part of the Go Home show. So Gunther defending his title against Moss. And then the night before the Elimination Chamber that Natalya is in, she and Shotzi are facing Ronda and Shayna Baszler. And I think Natalya should win to make people seem like she's going to win in the Rumble, right? Like, otherwise, why would you do it? But how is that? Like, that means Shayna's taking the pin? And maybe we're setting up, like, Ronda being mad at Shayna for losing? Because that's the only thing that makes sense? Because, like, if Natalya loses, like, the night before, like, what? That's terrible. So this tag match probably shouldn't happen, like, at all? Also, should be said, fuck Ronda Rousey. I don't want to see her ass wrestle. I don't want to see her on my TV. No fucking thanks to that. So, that's a little, like, besides the fact, but it it's still true. I put this arm on here. I should probably wait until I build this weapon. Let's build the weapon, and then we can put the weapon on the arm there, too. All right, let's see. So those are two ones. Oh, also, sorry. There's also another match. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus the Viking Raiders. We knew about that. That was being set up on the last show. The Viking Raiders getting a win over Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, who are, a good tag team, even if they're, like not as a tag team super well known. But Sheamus has certainly been doing great work this year. And Drew McIntyre has been in the title hunt and, was a champion. So pretty recently. So good for the Viking Raiders, I guess. They're boring. The Viking Raiders as a gimmick is boring as hell because they don't need all of this shit to be a successful monster tag team. And so it just comes off as very corny and boring that they're just like, oh, look, check out our cool Vikings. Also, the fact that they're like, well, we should bring back Sarah Logan, but we'll call her Valhalla. And she's like their spiritual guide. And it's just like, you mean the manager and the wife of one of the guys? Like, you could just say that. Or like a pro wrestler. You brought back a pro wrestler to be a manager. And all of it. And also, like, I don't know. The modern interpretation of what the Vikings are just always strikes me as like an attempt to be like cool fascists. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying. It just doesn't feel great. There's just something about the way that certain people really give a shit about Viking stuff that is just like, I don't know about that. So they were just War Machine. They used to be War Machine. Or the War Raiders. And also they were the Viking Experience for like a little while. And everyone was just like, you'll learn to love the name. And then they took it away. And it was like, yeah, we never got the chance to love the Viking Experience. Oof, that was such a terrible name. What the fuck? So yeah, I forgot. I mean, it would be very funny if Drew and Sheamus beat them, but I don't think that's likely. But it's also like, what's the ceiling on a heel tag team right now? Like, the tag champs are baby faces. They've had heels fight them. There are a lot of heel tag teams on SmackDown, and they moved a heel team to Raw who could have been a face. They could have had a face turn and just been dumb, lovable guys. And the Maximum Male Models, but they moved Maximum Male Models to Raw, so it's like, oh, never mind. All right, so we got one of our weapons here, one of our underarm weapons, which is a fun look. It's a fun vibe. Let's see. Hey, There was a Super Bowl commercial. Or no, was it on the Super Bowl or was it just yesterday? I can't remember. Uh, Maybe it was just out yesterday. Anyway, uh, there is a commercial for the Super Mario Brothers plumbing. It is a like fake local commercial in the style of a local commercial about the brothers, complete with a woman like clearly reading like a cue card and not understanding what she's saying because it's like just doesn't get what she's supposed to say there, which I thought was pretty charming. I would describe it as totally fine and kind of neat. Um, and it's a little bit like the Mario rap. Had traces of it. So, yeah, overall, I would say I am cautiously optimistic about the Mario movie. I think that movie could be okay. The trailers have not made me unhappy, and I would be pleased if I would love for there to be a cool Mario cartoon that I could be like, yeah, that Mario cartoon's okay. Like, that would be nice. It would be nice to be like jazzed about that, to be like excited about that, and to be like, again, the term that I would use for this is I would love to be pleasantly surprised. It would be nice if I could be like, yeah, you know what's good? Just same way that a little bit less on the second one, but the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, I was like, look, I was going to see it no matter what. My boy Ben got cast as Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. So I was definitely going to go see that shit because I want to support my friend. And also he was in something that I was interested in instead of like a weird Showtime comedy or whatever. Ben does a lot of stuff that I was like, cool, man. That sounds great. No, probably not going to see that. But it was like, oh no, Ben's the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in a live action Sonic movie. Fuck yeah. All right. I'm in. And that movie is good. The second one is fine, is what I will say. Idris Elba is an odd choice for that movie. It's a weird choice, but otherwise, still enjoyable. Let's see. A lot of references in that, which is fun. You know what we haven't heard yet is we haven't heard Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. That's what I can't imagine that's going to be a big part, but I want to know why you look. Am I saying that Fred Armisen is like a big draw name? No. But Fred Armisen is at least a name you have to pay more than just like a guy. You got to pay more than just like standard rate for Fred Armisen. So it's like, what's Cranky Kong doing in this movie? Like, what are you going to... There's like several Kongs, right? Yeah, because there's Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. Fred Armisen is Cranky Kong. That's weird. Like, why? I don't know. April 7th. Be there. He's being cranky, I guess. Be there, friends. April 7th. I won't be at theaters to see it, though, because I don't want to go to the movie theaters. I don't want to go to a movie theater. You know what? I don't want to go to a movie theater to see a Super Mario Bros. Movie, because I am 42. I'll be 43 this summer. It's like, I think I'm okay. I'll see it. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think I'm going to see it in theaters. Yes, Lord Crashing, that's why we're talking about the movie. It's because they had the local commercial, in the style of a local commercial about their plumbing business. Yes, we were talking about that. It is okay if you missed that because this has been a very chill evening where I know that my voice isn't monotone because I don't do monotone, but I do know that I might be in a cadence that is not piercing right now. That it might be a little foggy, chill. I think chill is a way to go with this. We just had like a not super active chat tonight and not a lot of viewers, and that's all okay and fine, and I'm not mad about it. But like, it's been pretty light. Tonight has been a pretty light evening, and that's okay. Mondays are usually a little busier than this, my friends, and so that's a little bit of a bummer. But hopefully Thursday and Saturday. Hopefully tomorrow will be good too. I should promote that tomorrow's stream. While I'm streaming now, I should tell you about tomorrow's stream, I guess. But I would like you to come and check that out tomorrow. I will be playing WWE 2K22. I will not actually be playing it. I'm sorry. I have been playing it, and I will be showing you the fruits of my labor. Which is to say that there will be CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K22 that we'll be looking at. I will give you some lovely teases of that. Let's process from the bit. I believe this is about the Mario movie. From the bit in the last trailer of Mario and DK fighting, it looks like they visit the land of the Kongs. Yeah, so I guess like Cranky Kong says some stuff. Enough that Fred... like I said, Cranky Kong is in the movie enough to justify having a person that does voice work that also was on SNL, like paying that price. Again, I don't want to make it sound like I think that Fred Armisen brings in a pretty penny, but like Cranky Kong is in it enough that they wanted somebody, not just like a not super well-known voice actor. You know what I mean? Sure. So tomorrow's stream, we'll have 8 matches. I did 5 and 3. We'll have a championship matches for both for our NXT champions, Xena, Warrior Princess, and Illidan Storm Rage. We'll both have, I don't know, actually I haven't taped either of those, or recorded, I should say, taped what I'm talking about. I haven't recorded either of those. I know one will be a one-on-one, and the other one I might do, you know what, I think I'll probably do a one-on-one for both those, because I think that's the better way to go. And then there is the $1 Million Championship. We have Stone Toad Steve Austin is our $1 Million Champion. You may have seen Stone Toad on the previous stream, which is just, it is what it sounds like. It is Toad from the Mario games as Stone Cold Steve Austin. So we've got that. There will be a tag team match, a tag team title match, because in last time we did the stream, I put Rhea Ripley in there, and in the game, because when the game was in development, this was true, the women's tag champions were Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley. So babyface Rhea Ripley. So I decided, all right, I'll keep Rhea. Rhea was already out there with the belt. I was like, all right, well, we just kind of said that, so let's see what's up there. So Rhea and Nikki ASH will be competing against somebody that has history in our nonsense thing in the Build with Baer wrestling storyline. Somebody has history with Rhea and then a mystery tag partner. So that'll be the tag team championships. Gonna have an Extreme Rules match. We've got a hey, I'm going to tease this. We got a Falls Count Anywhere match that is one of the shortest matches I've ever seen a CPU versus CPU. It barely gets out of the gate. So much so that I was like debating whether or not I was going to redo it. Because I was like, this just fucking... Should I do a rematch? Why the fuck was that so short? But I think I'm going to keep it because it's kind of funny that it was that short. It's enjoyable to me. We got a tag team tables match between a father and a brother duo and a grandfather and grandson duo, which I think is a very fun, silly idea to have that. So we got that. You got to put someone through a table. There aren't any League of Heels characters in the Creative Wrestlers, right? No, Lord Crashington, I looked. Nobody has done that, most likely because we haven't been in an organization in a while. There were a few kind of funny characters, but it looks like a lot of those characters got culled. Because, like, I don't even see... I will say this. It's possible Greg Miller isn't there because I haven't looked in a while. Greg Miller could be in there. But it looks like even all of the kind of funny characters they had in there aren't in there anymore. But yeah, there were several League of Heels wrestlers that were made for the Fire Pro game, Fire Pro Wrestling World, but that did not translate to people making that for this. But I did look for League of Heels. And then also, there's a new Money in the Bank ladder match. It's a 5-way fight with one new character, and I will describe this new character that I put in that I found because I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I've got some new wrestlers debuting. This one is Nightmare Fueled. It is the most weird looking creative wrestler I've ever downloaded. It just does not look right. And so that should be fun. That should be a pretty good tease for that. But yeah, we'll have 8 matches. I have recorded 5 of them right now. And of course, I'll be doing live commentary over all of it tomorrow. But I have not done... But yeah, I have not done 3 of them. I will probably do them all tonight. I was hoping to do them yesterday, but I got busy with a thing. So that did not happen. Which is fine. That, sometimes life gets in the way. And you just got to say, oop, can't work on this. Do it later. And that later will be tonight. And then today. I did some of that today. Okay, so why is this not clipping in? Sorry, hold on, everybody. This looks like this. That looks like that. This is how it should go. And then... this is how the arm looks. There we go. Now I got it. I don't know why, but that was giving me a little trouble, which is strange because the other one wasn't giving me any trouble at all. We got a little time before the pause for the cause. Let's see. Is there anything else going on with me? Not really. I'm going to get Arby's tomorrow for lunch because I'm going to the post office, which is pretty much across the street from an Arby's, and I have not been to an Arby's in a while, so I will be doing that. It's like 2 weeks. Before that, I hadn't been to Arby's in a very long time. So I am saying that even though it wasn't that long ago that I've been to an Arby's, I am thinking Arby's, and so I will be going and getting that. That's right, friends. I will be spending my Valentine's Day at Arby's, the post office, and streaming footage of CPU characters fighting in a wrestling video game. That is my Valentine's Day. Because it wasn't a building, I wasn't going to go out of my way to find something to build for today that was Valentine's themed. If it had been on Valentine's Day, maybe I would have gotten a Lego set like we did that before. We did like the Baer one. We've done a little bit with Valentine's Day on occasion, but I wasn't going to go out of my way. I don't have a Valentine in my life right now, which is fine. That is totally okay. I haven't been looking, I'll say that. While I have been looking locally for like work or perhaps entertainment, because I do, there is a karaoke brunch that I go to on a monthly basis. I have not been looking for like, I'm not on dating apps, okay? That's not a thing that I'm looking for. I have not been trying to see about that. Like, I'm not looking to meet locals in my area, if you know what I mean, which I assume you do. But also, like, I wasn't doing that. I had a crush on someone during the early days of Zooms because I was in a friend. Some friends had like, hey, you can just have your camera on and everyone's muted in this Zoom so you can kind of look and see people when we're all like working from home 2020. And a friend of a friend was in there who was that friend's roommate. So I guess a friend's roommate, but whatever. And we were like vibing a little bit. And then we started like talking after. And we had this thing. It was that thing where it was like, very safe flirting because neither of us were going to leave our homes because it was like the beginning of lockdown, but also like, well, you live in New York, I live in New York. We could probably like hang out at some point. Like maybe we can go to a park and look at each other at one point. You know, it was just like very casual, very easy, like very like I said, safe flirting. It was like totally like approachable and reasonable. And that did not go anywhere, which was fine because by the time I moved, that was already like not a thing. But that's like the last time that I've been like flirty and fun. I've been mostly like pretty just like much like just doing my thing. That is the beauty of the demisexual lifestyle is I can go for long periods without like crushing on anyone or thinking about any of that and just being like pretty fucking chill about it. Oh, Lord Crashin is going to work and go to the bank to deposit tax return checks. Okay, well there you go. Deposit those checks. But yeah, I've been flying solo and been pretty happy about that. Like people ask me, a friend of mine asked me like, "Hey, what do you think of your area?" Because I'm always looking to hear about cities I've never lived in, and I was like, if I was retired, or if I was way less liberal than I am, this area would be pretty okay. But because I am who I am, and also because I am 42 and not 62 or 72, this is not where I want to. This is not where I want to be. Oh, I missed a whole section here. This is not what I want to be doing. I miss public transportation. I miss big city living. I definitely miss like my friends and a lot of that stuff. That is stuff that I certainly miss. But big city vibes are calling. Bummed I'm not making it out to PAX East this year. There was definitely conversation about doing that ended up not happening. But it was certainly like something that I was considering. And I, if only would have liked to have gone to PAX just to see people because there are people that I haven't seen. There was a friend of mine was like, "Hey, I'm going to Philly for a Mag Fest or Magic Festival, not Mag Fest, Magic Festival thing. Do you don't do Magic anymore, but like you're pretty close. Do you want to like take a flight?" Unfortunately, South Carolina to like my area, South Carolina to Philly used to be really inexpensive. That is not the case anymore. So that does not work for me. But I almost went just because like friends of mine from Loading Ready Run are going to be at that thing, and I was like, well, maybe I'll go. And like I'm not going to play Magic probably because it's been very long time since I last played Magic the Gathering. But like maybe I'll just go and hang out and like see some friends that I haven't seen since 2020. I don't know, but I'm not going. That's the easy answer on that one is, oh, I'm not going to that. But I did consider it. I wish the flights were cheaper, or that the train was an option. The train is almost an option from here to Philadelphia. I forget exactly. I would have to get a ride to. I'd have to get a ride. Where would I have to get a ride to? I'm not going to say exactly. Let's see. Yeah, if I like look at the options, basically when I'm like fly, they're just like, oh, you mean train? Or not, sorry, train. They're like, you mean fly? And also a lot of it is just like, well, if you wanted, you could fly and then take a train, but they like definitely don't want me to take, or like, I could take a 16-hour ride by bus if I wanted to. A 10-hour drive or a 16-hour bus ride. Almost 17-hour bus ride. Or Yeah, I'd have to drive an hour to an Amtrak station that would take me to Philadelphia. So an hour and a yeah, an hour and a half drive, and then a 10-hour train ride. So that's not happening. The 10-hour train ride isn't like the worst, but it's certainly not good. Like I wouldn't want to do it. It's the fact that I would have to have someone drive me an hour and a half just so I could get on a train. It's like no, that's not reasonable. Flight is the best, but like I said, there used to be a couple flights that were because there were a couple competing flights. It was kind of reasonable, and now that there are not competing flights, it is unreasonable. All right, so we got to build this thing. We got to put the same stickers we put on. We'll put on again. Once we're done with the stickers on this, and we're done with the upper body, we've done both arms, friends, because the arms aren't too complicated. We can move on to, I want to say, feet. Yep, we'll do the feet next. Kits are predictable, my friends. Chest, head, arms, feet, legs, waist, weapons / backpack. That is generally the build order of kits from the last 5-7 years. I wish, like this head was a little complicated. This particular kit's head was a little weird, but I do wish that I was a little more surprised these days by model kits. That is not the case. All right, let's see. So yeah, got my stream tomorrow, my non-romantic stream, and then Thursday back at it again. Doing my thing, finishing up this kit. I would assume. So I will have a poll for what I do next because I have not had anything from my wish list. So we got to go back to the well of, asking people. Oops, this is wrong spot. This is supposed to be up here. Going back to the well of asking my $10 patrons about what I should build next. I think I'll take a break from the Iron-Blooded Orphan kits since I built this one. Also, obviously the Gundam Aerial and Iron-Blooded does share a little bit of a crossover with the Iron-Blooded kits. I might put up 3 options of Lego because I have quite a bit of Lego right now. So I might want to just be like, hey, patrons, which Lego set should I build next? Just to mix things up. Let me double check. Do I have, what's my Lego looking like? Yeah, I've got enough Lego to do a Lego vote. Yeah, because I got the race car, the 3 and 2. Oh no, I have a 1, 2. I have 2 Lego sets. I thought for a second I had 3. And I'll put up for grabs 2 Lego sets for voting, and then 1 other kit. And then my heavy Gundam, I believe, gets mailed out this month, but I don't know when that's going to arrive. Premium, pre-order, updates, preparing to ship. Yes. So it looks like the heavy Gundam is shipping out on Friday, so I will get it towards the end of the month, which is fun. That's fine. The heavy Gundam looks very cool, so that'll be a March build. I am okay with that information. Oh yeah, let me get this last sticker on, and then we can do a pause for the cause. Talk about stuff, and then we'll get back to building. We'll do a short pause for the cause. The lift, I still don't know when that's coming. No idea when that's going to ship from USA Gundam Store. It's my only USA Gundam Store pre-order right now because I am on a bit of a buying freeze. I did pre-order, of course, the Death Scythe Hell from Premium Bandai. I wasn't going to let that pass me by. Even if I'm on a buying freeze, that supersedes. And again, of course, when that arrives, it will be the next thing that I build. It'll be as soon as I have a slot open for building, it'll be that because I built Death Scythe on this stream, and that precedes other stuff. So that'll break my own rule of, hey, if you buy something from my wish list, it jumps the queue, but otherwise my $10 patrons vote. Death Scythes supersede that shit. If somebody wants something on my wish list, it can wait a little bit. Um, and then, of course, I have I said, Heavy Gundam this month. Quattro Baginas Rick Diaz coming in March, which is a good-looking Rick Diaz. And I don't think I've looked this up. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I've never built a Rick on stream before. So that'll be good. Then we got the Zeta Gundam, the Premium Zeta Gundam in April, Premium Band, I should say. And then nothing in May or June. And then July, the Gundam Rose and the Death Scythe. That's the second pre-order of the Gundam Rose. Excited to get in on that. Because that's the idea that there is a new high grade from G Gundam that isn't the God or the Shining Gundam is wild. The idea that there is the Gundam Rose is going to be a high grade is so cool. And the first time that the pre-order, it like sold out immediately, and also I didn't have the funds for it. So the fact that I have the funds this time is great. I was able to put that pre-order in. That's wonderful. So I was very pleased about all of that. All right, we are done. We got our weapons. Got some of our weapons on here. Got our hands ready to go. This kit is looking pretty cool so far. But we will go into the pause for the cause. And like I said, I'll try to be pretty quick about it because there's not a lot of you here tonight. And I'm sure many of you already know this shit, which is fine. If you are currently a subscriber to the old Build with Baer Workshop, you can put your emotes in the chat there. Put the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Let the people know that you are a subscriber. Subscribing is the easiest way to support me and my endeavors because you're giving me $5 a month. Or, if you're a Arista fan, $10 a month in the Tier 2, and you get the Tier 2 emote. We're currently at 32 subscribers. Lashbrook also used Prime. You have your Prime Gaming token. If you have that token, you can support me because you already have Amazon Prime and you linked it with your Twitch. And if you're not using it, use it for this guy, your friend Pat. But yeah, being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. I'm at 32 subscribers out of 40. The goal is always 40. I have debated doing some kind of very long stream as a subathon, like that kind of a thing. I am considering that because the idea would be like, what if I blew past 40? What if I set a way higher number and did some kind of bonus stream that was a long stream to build momentum and really get that algorithm going of well, if you stream for a long time, then more people will come. This is probably the time to do it while I'm living alone. I've been thinking about that. Anyway, if you want to become a subscriber, you want to gift a sub, you want to join Aristofan, top of the gift sub leaderboard, bits and coins, join Harold over there with some bits. You could do that. Again, I'll get through this pretty quickly because I believe everybody that is watching right now subscribes. Maybe not. I got a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. Different rewards for different tiers there are $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. My YouTube, if you want to see my Wednesday video a day early, you could become a member at youtube.com/PatBear. Also at YouTube, you could just go over there and just subscribe. Ooh, Nightbot did not give me that information there, so we'll give it a second and then try again. It might have been too fast. Anyway, you go over to youtube.com/PatBear. Subscribe for free because that is how subscriptions work. But if you also wanted to, while you were there, you could join for $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos a day early. Let me try that one more time. There we go on the YouTube. So do that. Consider that. Those are all monthly ways to support me. There's also one-time donations, which will go into a fund, which I use to buy model kits. So you could do a one-time donation. We'll get back to building soon, friends. But yeah, you can jump into my Ko-fi or my Stream Elements or my PayPal. And everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos counts. Patreon and Twitch, everything that I make from that goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with that fund. The Asmodee, I pre-ordered this. This was a premium Bandai. No, sorry, this is not a premium Bandai. I pre-ordered this from USA Gundam Store, and I was able to pre-order this last year because of you or other people's generosity. So thank you very much for that. I will have some amount of money coming at some point from Twitch, because that, I believe, will be soon. Actually, let me see let me look at that right now and see if I can see that. The payouts. Yes, next payout is processing. I should be getting that any day now. And it will be a little under $100, which is great. Used to be a little under $100, I wouldn't get that. But now, as long as it's over 50, we're fine. So yeah, I've got $95 coming to me. Guess what I'm going to do with that $95? I'm gonna buy model kits with it. It's gonna go into a fund, and I'll use that fund to buy model kits and Lego sets and gear. So thank you for subscribing, because it literally does keep this stream going and means that I don't just have to do like other things that isn't model kit building. I can afford to continue to buy model kits, which is rad. Now, I have a backlog of kits. I'm always happy to build from that backlog. This Asmodee is from that backlog. But if you want to jump the queue and have me build the thing that you want me to build, you could buy it from my Amazon wish list. I have a bunch of stuff on there. Obviously, optional. You don't have to do any of this, but I have Lego sets and Pokemon kit in there. I've got this puzzle thing that I bet sucks, but it's $21, and it's a puzzle of the RX-782. Inexpensive kits, very expensive kits that seem to be going on sale pretty regularly, which is great. Kits that are shipping from overseas and it will take forever to arrive. All kinds of different things. And then some gear at the bottom. This was part of that gear, but then it was purchased. But yeah, I got some gear at the bottom of there because it's always nice to have gear. Included in the gear is this is the 15 button, because right now I have the Stream Deck, the 6-button Stream Deck. There's a 15 button there, and it's on sale right now. It's right now $120. Am I telling you you should spend $120 on me? No. I'm not telling you that, but I am telling you that's on sale. And then also, if you want me to play WWE 2K23 when that comes out, there's a $50 gift card to GameStop, which I would use to get a digital copy of the game through GameStop, and then chip in the rest of the money on my own, because that's I think the easiest way to do that. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do that. So yeah, you can check out something on my wish list, see if there's something there you'd like to see me build, and if there is, you could purchase that. Alternatively, you can go to Throne. I recently updated my Throne wish list. Check that out, see if there's something there you'd like to see me build or have some gear. And then USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card there. Send me a DM on Twitter while that's still a thing. Or, I don't know, I guess you could message me on Mastodon. I'm on Mastodon. I've been on Mastodon. Right now I'm at content.town, which is Will Smith and Brad Shoemaker's Mastodon instance. That's Federate, whatever. So if you go to content.town, or sorry, mastodon.content.town, I'm Pat Baer at mastodon.content.town. That's new. I've been on social, but social's big, and if I have to be on something for Mastodon, I'd rather it be like Will's because it seems nice. But yeah, buy a gift card, use the Gundam Store, send me a DM on Twitter or whisper here on Twitch with the code, and I'll buy something there. Mastodon is weird, Lord Crashington. I migrated my name from social, which kept all my follows and my followers, but I lost all of the people I follow who I don't have their information. I don't have their previous messages anymore because I've moved instances, and I hate it. I don't like Mastodon, but I'm going to lose my check mark probably because it looks like that. It very much looks like that Elon Musk really wants to get rid of the check marks, even though he doesn't pay for Twitter Blue, so that check mark is his own. He's a notable person that has an old check mark because he doesn't pay for Twitter Blue. So it looks like they're going to get rid of that, and that's really going to fuck up my style on there. I am corrupt. You're right. Look, I shouldn't have it. I never should have gotten it. I applied for it and got it. I don't know why. I only assume that the person that looked at it was like, "Oh, UCB, that's cool." Boom. I don't know. Or because I had I had a lot of people with check marks following me. And that apparently was a good indication that you were someone important if important people were following you. Those are the two things I believe. Yes, Lashbrook, one would imagine that he would give himself some kind of like a cool color check mark. Like the best ones are red, which is not true, obviously, but he would think that. Anyway, I have a Discord. Speaking of stuff that like I use, but like whatever, I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. Whoops, I forgot the exclamation point there. My Discord is full of nice people. It's a good time. You can jump in there if that's what you want to do. Good people posting photos and hanging out and occasionally posting links of things they think I would like. They're right, usually. Hey, I put up a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club today. Please watch it. I got like one comment immediately, which is very nice, on Pat Bear's Anime Club. I talked about... Oh, no, actually, that was another video. Never mind. Anyway, Pat Bear's Anime Club. I talked about chill manga. This was a request, a previous request, a previous comment asking for chill manga recommendations. So slice of life stuff, but on the chill side, not on the dramatic side. And I recommended some stuff that also has an anime adaptation and some stuff that doesn't have an anime adaptation. So you can just go in fresh. And then Baerly Rehearsed is my ongoing video series where it's character monologues, but I'm practicing. It's not improv. It's written material that I promise I have practiced at least once. This most recent one was me using AI to write apologies for a fictional YouTuber, and I think it turned out pretty good. And then the one that's coming out on Wednesday this week, I did have memorized, is a dumb joke that I thought of in the shower that I wrote a very short character monologue about. I would call it like a blackout sketch, in that the joke is the punchline is the joke, and there's no meat on the bone. It's a quick hit. It's a short. It's a fast joke that I like a lot, and I think you'll like it too. So that's coming out on Wednesday. That's a tease from your friend Pat. All right, I got to talk about some manga and some anime here. Let's get into that. I want to drink a little water. We got to get back into this kit. Let me get this ready here. Copy and paste that. Get that in there. Okay, so I have the manga loaded up. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to play some dramatic music and drink some water. And then we'll continue the stream right now. I would recommend water if you're also thinking like, hey, I could probably use something to drink. Why not water? Make it water. It's pretty good. I just want to check this out real quick. All right. Well, update, friends. Update. The big red shoes that remind people of Mega Man's boots. You know, the meme shoes. If you don't know, that's great too. Don't worry, because Seth Rollins wore them on Raw tonight. I'm going to actually save this image. Gonna save this image. What? I can't open image in new window. There we go. Because if I drag it, it won't save, even though it wants it to. So I gotta put it on the desktop. This is not worth it, but I'm gonna put this up here. Then I gotta do the image, and then I click OK, and then I gotta find it. Again, there's probably a better way to do what I'm doing right now, but that's okay. And then I go to desktop, and then I click on the image. And then it's right there. And then I put it right there. These are the meme boots. The people were like, why would someone have these? And it's like, well, it's probably, well, that fad was fast. As far as I can tell, these are made by an art collective. That the whole point is for people to talk about them. Those meme boots are a new match idea in the future. Yeah. But him wearing them, A plus. You knew someone was going to do it. Good on old Seth for making that happen. But yes, I am 95% sure that the people that made those boots were doing it not to like promote their company, but as like a art piece, an interactive piece of art, and mission accomplished. People are talking about your weird thing, and then Seth Rollins wore them on TV, and that's fun. But yes, A plus work there. I just happened to look at Twitter, and it's very good. Very, very good. Let's see. All right. Yeah, it's really good. All right, let's talk about a work of fiction, a manga. While we put together some feet. Speaking of boots, let's make some boots here. Let's make some boots. We won't be knocking them, but we're gonna make some feet here because this kit does have feet. So let's get that together. Exiled from my old party for being a woman, me and a legendary witch formed the ultimate tag team. So this is fun. This is this is in the banished genre. This is not a reincarnation story. Kind of a little bit. This is your now fairly typical. I got kicked out, and now I'm going to prove you that you were a fool. In this particular instance, our main character is fucking strong. She is a Magi's saber, a magical swordswoman, but she is in an environment, in a system, an adventuring system, where women are like, it is surprising to find a strong swordswoman because women often are kind of pushed towards healing roles, support roles, background roles. And they generally don't do cool sword shit because that's usually the dude's job. And often they are, in this society, pressured to retire early, to get married, a very heteronormative bullshit system. And also, they are often just completely belittled, and it is assumed and perceived that they have joined adventuring to meet a husband. Very backward thinking, right? So when our girl, our magic swordswoman, eventually just like gets dismissed because like she won't quit and she's not interested in like our main dude cannot, or not our main dude, but like our villain cannot fathom or understand a world in which she is not there to snag him, and he is getting kind of frustrated with her because she has like not picked up on the quote unquote reality of the situation. So she gets dismissed from the party because she is like at an age where she's definitely should be focusing on getting married, and what is she doing here? So she goes into the desert to vent her anger and destroy some stuff. That way, she's just destroying like dunes or whatever. And in the process of destroying a bunch of things, oh shit, she manages to free a frozen in time and imprisoned legendary witch named Laplands. And it is immediately apparent that this woman was, she's the legendary witch, and, history has painted her as like a monster. Nah, she was just, at the time, way too strong of a woman and was falsely accused and imprisoned. And she's back now. And luckily, she's not up for like revenge. She's up for being excited to be free and living well, and then like overheard what our main character was saying, and it's just like, you and I should be a party. Now, there are a lot of hints that this might be a Yuri romance, that we might have some gay times in this. If that is coming, they are being very slow about it. Now, I've only read 13 chapters right now. Let me double check. How many chapters have I read of this? Let me look this up. I have it in my notes. I just have to scroll back to find it. Let's see. Where are we here? No, I have read 16 chapters of this. If they are going to make this a romance thing, they are being incredibly slow about it. My assumption is that much like the reincarnated princess, that the light novel this is based on is really gay, and they have toned it down for the manga because that's very fucking typical with this kind of stuff. Is that it would not be a surprise or a shock. So even though I have been told that this is a queer story, there has been little to no evidence of that, other than the fact that the two main characters are ladies, and the third supporting character, their healer, who is a low-level healer, they're all ladies. So this is just like revenge is doing well. The main guy is getting his comeuppance, and that has been great. They went out of their way to help some other ladies. Like I said, their healer, who has a tough backstory that gets explored. Kind of, it's not explored as well as I would like, but she does get some fun backstory of their healer. Which is nice. And then we do get them helping out like somebody that is trying to take care of a lot of kids and move up in the world, and they go out of their way to help her, which is nice. And like along the way, there are a lot of ladies who are starting to like really look at this like two attractive, beautiful women who are working very hard, and it is encouraging them to also work very hard. And there's some appreciation by some men folk that like, oh, you know what? Okay, like these ladies kick ass. It is totally good. It is a totally fine piece of media. Again, I wish that it was queer, much more than it's presented. But it moves along at a pace that I think is pretty fun, and has been pretty dang enjoyable. There's some hints that after this arc is done, there will be some other shenanigans that is coming out, because there's definitely like there's some characters that have been like kind of introduced but not fully like figured out what's going on with them. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, I've liked it. I've definitely enjoyed my time with Exiled from my old party for being a woman. Me and a legendary witch formed the ultimate tag team. So yeah, as far as the Banished series goes, it's a pretty good one of those. And I've been enjoying it. It is doing that thing where it releases like one of three, so every couple weeks, like a third part of a chapter comes out, and I have just fucking do it monthly. I hate that. Like every 2 weeks, here's another third of a chapter. That's just frustrating. That method does prevent chapters from feeling very short, because it is in 3 parts. But overall, I am not a big fan of that style of release. All right, I guess we'll talk about some anime now. We did the manga. Now let's have a chat about some anime. Hey, we got a little bit of a bump in viewers. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. If you haven't hit the follow button before, hit that follow button so you know when I go live next. I build model kits on Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays, and then on Tuesdays I do something else. Tomorrow I'm playing WWE 2K22. I actually played it in advance. We'll be watching CPU versus CPU matches, because that's the most fun for that. And it'll be a lot of weird, custom created wrestlers and a few wrestlers from that are already in the game and WWE game. And it's a good little time. And I'll do live commentary for it over the matches that have already been recorded. So that way the game can't crash. And I at least know the matches end, because sometimes the matches don't end. Like if I try to do a Hell in the Cell match, there is such a good chance that it will never actually end. That the characters will just get stuck or break out of the cage and then never get back in the cage. It's really fun. Anyway, I got 2 pieces of anime to talk about because I dropped Ice Blade and I don't have anything to pick it up. I got about halfway through the first episode of Ippon again, which is like girls like starting up a martial arts thing at their school, and it just didn't hit me. Art's real bad, and I was just like, meh, bounced off that. I am looking for a chill girls doing things show. We don't have one. I don't have one this month, or this season, but it's not that one, unfortunately. But I did watch Buddy Daddies. And this episode of Buddy Daddies, basically, like, our dudes are now in the role of, we have decided that we are going to take care of this girl. We are now her guardian. We are her dads. And now our assassin, or the boss of the assassins, now knows that, of what's going on. And so we don't have those secrets anymore, but we're like trying to figure it out. Kazuki is like, you know what? Miri at some point is going to figure this stuff out, and it's not great that her dads are assassins. But turns out now it's like, okay, are we actually negligent influencer? Because her friend at school says that Miri hit her, and then Miri's like, no, Miri stands up for herself. She's just like, no, like that's not what's happening right now. Like, that's not what happened. You need to believe me. And then the next day, Miri's like, hey, to her other dad, to Ray, like, hey, can you take me to school? And just like mad that she didn't get supported by her dad. And then Kazuki forgot the lunch, and he's like, I gotta bring her lunch. Oh, they're on a zoo trip. Well, I should go anyway. They gotta bring her lunch, even though she's on the zoo trip, which I'm like, okay, sure. And it turns out Taiga is a troublemaker. And guess what? What a coincidence. There's an armed robber hiding from the police in the zoo, which I don't know if the zoo is the place to go and hide from the police. I've never had to hide from the police, but I don't know if I would pick the zoo for that kind of for that deal. That's just me anyway. Maybe it's a great place to hide from the cops. Again, I don't know. There it is. Let's see what else happens in this episode. Taiga, Miri is looking out for Taiga. Taiga shares her lunch because Miri doesn't have a lunch. This is observed by Kazuki. And then he's just like, and then the robber shows up and starts threatening Miri because he's hungry. And it's just like, anime, what are we doing here? And then Kazuki and Rei capture the robber. And then the girls get back to the daycare person. And then Kazuki's like, oh, she's still a good girl. We're not fucking this up, apparently, which is nice. But it's like, no, you know what? Taiga, not a good friend. That dude is trouble. So they can't date in the future. And then Miri forgives Kazuki. and then they eat her lunch. But then, friends, a woman named Karen shows up at the bar. Is this going to spell trouble in the future? Possibly. She was introduced at the end of the episode, so you go, ooh, what's going to happen next? I don't know. So this it was low on assassin stuff, but did feature mascots apprehending a robber, and so that's fun. We like that. All right, so I gotta. So that was good. So this wasn't like my favorite episode, but it was like good for the wholesome. Like, oh, okay, they're, like these dudes don't know how to be like dads, and they gotta, they gotta trust their friends, or they gotta trust their daughter, even if they don't necessarily like the friend that she's made. Okay. So we're continuing to work on these feet. We have to apply stickers here, because these are the backs of the feet here. This is very complicated legs. We're going to put it there. Okay. Got little pieces that have to go into some feet here, so we'll get all that together. While I'm doing that, I will tell you about Handyman Saitou in Another World. This one is this one's like getting dark, because now we have this dark spirit that showed up. Like everything, like we got a lot of characters coming together, and they've been fighting against one another, and now they're all like teaming up. And then Saitou is like, wait. Conveniently, Saito's like, wait, what about that like time manipulation magic that Morlock has? And then we get backstory on Morlock that is fucking sad. That this dude was this young man, this gruff man was so focused in his past on being recognized, and being like recognized as like a great man and a great mage, that he neglected his child, and his child passed away, and the child still held a lot of affection for him, even though he never had a chance to return it. And it's just like, fucking yikes. And the reason why he was studying time magic was he wanted to bring his daughter back to life. And that's why he doesn't, and in challenging it to get that magic, that's why he's lost some of his memories. Like that was like his punishment or something. And Saitou is like, Saitou makes a leap that I don't quite believe, but I don't hate. That he thinks that Morlock is the reason that Saitou, he's like, I think Morlock brought me here. And then Saitou helps him cast the spell, which freezes everyone in time except for him. And I will say this. It's interesting, like where we're at with this. This series has so far, outside of this story, which has gone like a couple chapters, has been pretty like overview of the world and short stories, and it feels odd to jump from that to, hey, here's like an actual like plot, like here's like a couple chapters of like a story that's like continuing, and also fucking devastatingly sad in some instances, and well told, well done. It's done well. It's just kind of surprising to have that appear in this show, like I said, which has all been kind of like last episode did have some drama, but the show has been mostly vibes, and mostly just like, yeah, well, he's not strong, but he can do a lot of Saitou can do a lot of stuff that other people can't do, and there's like a lot of respect for him and the work that he does, and it's cool that he's there, and everyone's like psyched to be working with him. And that's interesting to have that go. And then, like, also in the last episode, like, he could have died. He almost died. And so that's like, oh, yeah, okay, there's some stakes. And then we have the, like, oh, maybe all of this was because of this old man fucking around with time. And then maybe he also fucked around with space, which, again, like I said, is a leap in logic I'm not fully on board with, but I'm willing to go along for the ride at this moment. It has just been a enjoyable series. This is like one of those, like, Handyman Saitou in Another World is one of those things where it's like, for people that are like, I've always wanted to get into an isekai because I want to try all the different genres of things. Like, this might be a good first isekai, or like coming back to the thing, or like if you just want like a good adventuring series. Like, there are other shows that I could be watching that are just like pure adventure, no isekai stuff. You know, there's two different series about outcasts out this season. Like, if I wanted to, I could watch either of those. And I did watch the first episode of one of them and then kind of bounced off of it. But I don't know, there's just something about the guy, you know, the guy that was the best employee at a hardware store, like a home goods store, that gets sent to another world and doesn't get overpowered skills. He's just good at shit and doing the shit that he's good at. And going along with it is interesting. And like I said, the vibes are really good in Handyman Saitou. So I'm enjoying that. Okay, now's the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. Chat has been chill tonight, and that is okay. And you are totally all right with continuing to be chill if you want to continue to be chill. But if you would like to type some stuff into chat and let me know, what are you watching right now? What are you playing? If there's anything that you're looking forward to, like games released coming out, if you're like, if there's some demos from Next Fest that you're still checking out because they aren't timed, they just, you know, they were already up anyway, or yeah, if there's games you're getting caught up on, or TV shows you're watching, or movies that, you know, like, let me know. I'd love to hear from you in chat about that. I've been playing more World of Assassination, the Hitman freelancer stuff. I am now pretty okay at it. I think I have turned the corner. I think I am a better judge of what levels to pick and what direction to go. I think I am getting better at that. I have been enjoying my time in the World of Assassination. I think the big thing to me is, like, there are things that you want to try to do, the challenges you want to do in the level, and then there are challenges that just like, well, you know what? I don't have any poison, and I'm probably not going to find any poison. It's okay if I can't kill this target with poison, and I'm just going to be okay with that. But, I do have a legendary melee weapon, so let me take this legendary melee weapon into the game, and I'm going to try to use this legendary melee weapon because that is not a difficult thing for me to do right now. And like, the results, yes, I did a good job in World Assassination. Like, hell yeah, I'm doing it. Or like, I'm okay at identifying my target in a challenge. It takes a while in the challenge to figure out your target. I'm all right at that. I'm getting pretty okay at doing that. Lord Crasher says, I finished watching Trigun, which was good. There is story stuff that is less consistent towards the end, especially how they build up knives and dispatch them so quickly. The original Trigun, I believe you're saying, yes. So the original Trigun, I always assumed wanted more episodes, and like eventually just went like, all right, well, let's get to it. Because the new Trigun is just like, knives, here you go. You already know about them. And I think the original Trigun is like, look, we need to like explain some of what's going on in this, but Vash's journey is to us more important. So like that's why Knives is like in and out. You could argue that the same could be said for I think the manga wasn't done when the show started. Yeah, I mean you could argue that the same could be said for Cowboy Bebop, which is just an original story where like, well, we've got like a villain character, Vicious, but like it's not Vicious. Like learning a lot about Vicious and Julia isn't the interesting thing about this story. So like we'll do it, but we also want you to like, we'd rather you watch just the episodes and enjoy that. I think there's a similar case that could be made for Trigun, that like it's the journey of the characters, and then like eventually they do have to like talk about the shit. I did start Stampede, which has been good so far. It looks fantastic. The dub has JYB returning as Vash. Yeah. Look, I'm probably going to try again. I bounced so hard off of Trigun. The original series like was a seminal work for me. I don't think it looks good. I think there are moments. I think stills. Okay, I'll say this. I think stills of Trigun Stampede look fantastic. But I think in motion, I'm not a fan of how it looks and acts. I'm just not. I just can't right now. Like maybe I will someday, but right now, I can't. Aristofan says, I've been playing through Minish Cap on the Switch. I'm planning on playing Final Fantasy Theta Rhythm later this week. Hell yeah. I'm glad you're getting some Switch games in. I mean, games on the Switch, I should say. And I hope you're having a good time with that, Aristofan. Thanks for letting me know. And thank you, Lord Crescent, for sharing as well. If anybody else in chat, I just noticed I did drop down to 31 subscribers, which is a shame. It is going to be a long hike to 40, as we're at 31 right now. Again, I chatted about a subathon, and I do not know if that is in the cards for me per se. I don't know for sure if I'm definitely going to be doing a subathon or something, but I am certainly considering it to do some kind of like, because I've done like, it's been a while since I did like, I'm going to stream and try to raise money. The beautiful thing is, y'all, the thing that's lovely is obviously I'm probably, I don't know for sure. I might be doing a charity stream because Plamo Weekender is coming up, and I don't know for sure if I'm going to be invited to partake in that or if I'm just going to help promote it and be a mod for it. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to do it. But I have, I have that coming up. But like the attempts I've done for like, hey, I'm going to stream for a bunch of hours and try to raise money, that money just appears pretty early and easily, which is beautiful, and I'm so grateful for that. So I haven't done like a very long stream like that in a while. So the idea of doing some sort of subathon, like long term, like, hey, we're trying to hit this, become a subscriber, do all that, like having that kind of thing, like a long stream where the goal is like we're trying to get to this number is something I've been thinking about. And like I said, the idea of doing a long stream where I have, like getting some videos together, doing a like found footage, like, hey, I'm checking out some stuff on archive.org and we're going to talk over it, like kind of like low pressure scene, or like also some wrestling. I've got a lot of wrestling out there we could do. Like there's something about that I've been thinking it might be worth my time and effort to do that. So I don't know when that would be, but it would be this month. It would be before my folks return. I'll say that, because it's a lot easier to justify doing a very long stream if there's nobody in the house when you're doing it. Lord Gresham says, I'm nearing the end of Trigger Witch, which is like if A Link to the Past was a dual-stick shooter. Ooh, I have heard nothing of that game. It is a story as an element about gun culture in the U.S. and Canada that I wasn't expecting. That's awesome, Lord Crashington. I have heard absolutely nothing about Trigger Witch, but I'm glad you're enjoying it, and that's interesting. Lashbrook, continuing the One Piece journey, says, I got into Water 7 arc in One Piece, and God, this is so good compared to what comes before it. There are so many things popping off all at once. So, two things. One, the Water 7 arc on its own is fantastic. And two, the anime, like, takes a sharp, like, some of it is just, like, the source material is really good. Like, Water 7 source material is good. And the other thing is that, like, the anime, like, Toei just, like, was feeling itself at this point and really put some time and energy into One Piece. Like, it doesn't last. It goes waves, bits and spurts. But they really did, like, they wanted Water 7 to be a seminal piece of the seminal arc of One Piece. They wanted to do it justice. It's very clear that they had high hopes to make that shine, and it is fantastic. I'm glad you're there. Enjoy it, savor it. It is some of the best One Piece. It's not my favorite arc in One Piece, but because even though it's so fucking long, and comparatively it's not long, but like content-wise, Dressrosa is my favorite arc in One Piece. It's not everybody's favorite arc, certainly, but Dressrosa takes fucking forever, and it has so much goofy shit in the beginning, and it's so slow in parts, and it's so meandering in some sections, but that has such beautiful arcs to it, such like lovely payoffs for characters, some badass stuff, some returning characters that, like, there's a dude who is very important in Dressrosa that I forgot existed in One Piece, and when he showed up in the anime, I was like, who the fuck is that? And then they did a flashback of the guy, and I was like, oh, that fucking guy. But he's also so goddamn important. There's something really enjoyable about Dressrosa that I really like. And like I said, it's got a lot of good goofy in it. And yeah, it's also like, you got a lot of goofy characters, got a lot of good support, a huge introduction of a lot of nonsense, and then also, by the end of Dressrosa, Zoro starts pulling off crazy cool shit, and you're just like, fuck yeah. Oh. Yes, it is the first widescreen HD arc. Isn't that when they moved to widescreen? Yes, and render clip episodes near the end as they make the last push. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing of like, okay, we're going widescreen. This is like, we're stepping up. Hey, y'all may have slept on One Piece for a while. That's probably our fault. 4Kids certainly didn't help, but like, we also have dropped the ball here, but like, nah. For some reason, like, nah, the manga has been kicking off, because it was, obviously the manga was ahead of the anime at the time, but it's like, the manga has been picking up steam, and people are getting real into it, and like, now's the time to get fucking back to business, and that business is really liking One Piece. So yeah, really firing on all cylinders, and enjoyable. Speaking of enjoyable, this kit has been enjoyable to put together. Then I looked up at the point was 7 years after the show started. Yeah, 15 years for the dub. Yeah, I mean, I don't pay attention to the dub. I've never paid attention to the dub of One Piece. The 4Kids, like, made me go and get torrents of it. Like, the 4Kids, I was like, this seems cool, but this is not good. Anyway, this is good. That's my transition there. Speaking of good, this kit is looking good. We got our big feet done with our little bit of the green, the nice neon green, and we got the top half of the kit done here. So we'll get a photo of this. Take a photo of it once we're done, and then we'll move on. But here's the thing we have to do. You already knew it was coming. We got a raid. That is how we end every stream. We end every stream with a raid. We're going to go find somebody out there doing cool shit that we want to go support. It's Monday, so we will probably go see what Mary's up to, because Mary Kish streams on Monday, so we like raiding Mary Kish. Mary's got a fuck ton of people watching. That's good for Mary. Mary's playing Inkulinati. I don't know what that is, but Mary's playing it, and like a ton of people are watching. That rules. Good on you, Mary. Yeah, let's go give Mary a raid. See what's going on there. I already like the art style. All right, so we're gonna go give Mary a raid. Feel free to come along in this raid. It would be great if you did, because Mary rules, and you'll have a good time over on her stream. I'll be back tomorrow with WWE 2K22 CPU versus CPU matches. The return of somebody that we haven't had since the first time I streamed, because I just haven't used that character in a while. It's gonna be really good. We're gonna put. I'm gonna have a match with Rey Mysterio because we haven't done Rey Mysterio yet because Rey has been in my promotion image, but we haven't had Rey in a match. So we'll have Rey in a match. Come back tomorrow night. If not, I'll see you on Thursday. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming on this raid. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye to you, people watching the VOD.